Okay, so I think we're recording. We are. So welcome to the continued education series of around emotional well-being. So today we're going to talk about the emotional well-being aspect of the essential oils. So my name's Eloise. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Eloise Lockhart. I've been a dōTERRA wellness advocate for a few months now. And one of the things that I love about the essential oils is that you can literally just pick up a bottle anytime you like and get that emotional response to the oil, which will help you wherever you are in the day. So I'll quite often pick up a bottle of oil just as I'm going along through my day and give it a sniff. But of course, there's other ways that we can benefit from the essential oils, which is what I will be talking about in this session. So firstly, let's think about the power of aroma. So let's think about all the aromas that evoke a positive emotional response in you. So if you have a think about that now, I've put some of those on here that are things that evoke a positive emotional response in me. So for example, cut grass, where you smell that cut grass and you get that lovely feeling that summer is coming. I think we can all relate to that. The smell of a campfire for me is something that I find really comforting and also takes me back to happy times in my life, sitting around a campfire. And I've also put one here about which is the tarmac. So smelling hot tarmac for me, when I walk down the steps of an aeroplane and that smell of the hot tarmac hits me, it's actually, I get that rush of excitement, that because it normally means that I'm on holiday or I'm going to visit an exciting new place. So we know that the aromas can be powerful. And this is what we're harnessing when we use the essential oils. So it's not a new thing. Aromatherapy has been used in ancient Greece, in Rome, China, India, Egypt. All these ancient civilizations, they knew the power of aroma. And this is why it was used for, the oils were used in rituals and religious practices, and they still are today. We only have had a term for it relatively recently. The term for it is aromatherapy. And this term was coined, as I said, relatively recently, as the scientific community began to recognise the emotional benefits of aromatherapy. So they're just finding out what these ancient people have known for hundreds and thousands of years, is that we can change our mood and change the atmosphere using aroma. And even more recently than that, we've actually started to do research as to why this happens in our bodies and how the body responds to aroma when you actually breathe in that aroma. What happens? Why is it that we get this emotional response? And this is why. So I'm going to get a bit nerdy with you now, and just talk a little bit about the scientific facts about why our emotions, how our emotions connect in terms of our brain. So when we breathe something in, so in this case a rose, when we breathe that aroma, it goes into our nasal cavity and it gets processed by the olfactory bulb. So that's where our sensory processing system is for smells. And that connects immediately to the limbic system of the brain. And the limbic system of the brain is where we store our emotional responses to aroma. So our emotions and our past experiences that have connected with aroma are stored in the limbic system of the brain. So that is why when you breathe something in, you get an instant emotional response to that, and you can get a rush of feeling through your body based on the aroma that you've just smelt. And that's why it happens. So it's a scientific fact that our mind-body connection is present when we're actually using aroma. So in terms of using essential oils to manage our mood, why use them? Well, they're natural and they're safe. So let's say, for example, that you're feeling anxious. There might be a pharmaceutical drug that you can turn to actually help that anxiety, but that's likely to be chemically based and have various side effects of its own that cause harm to your body. So with essential oils, you can help that help your mood in a natural way. There's no side effects, and it's a natural way, and it's also a safe way to manage your mood. Also, with essential oils, if you've just seen in the last slide where we talked about the brain, it generates a quick response. So all you've got to do is take that aroma in, and you'll get that response to the mood instantly. So it's a simple way to manage emotions. You can have a bottle of essential oil with you. You don't have to go to the doctor. You don't have to get a prescription. You've got that essential oil with you at all times, and you can, or on the shelf, and you can just grab the essential oil and use that to manage your mood. So it's also a very simple way to manage emotions. So we can use essential oils in different ways to manage emotions. As I've said, you can take the bottle, you can take the top off, and you can smell the aroma of that essential oil, and instantly you've got that response. So aromatically, and also we can put our essential oils into a diffuser. So a diffuser will spread that aroma around your environment. So it's a really easy way to make sure that you're taking advantage of that essential oil. It's also great if you put your essential oil into the diffuser. It means that you can change the atmosphere or the mood of an environment without actually having to give that essential oil to everybody. So if you're in a room and let's say that, I don't know, there's been some tension in the family that evening, you can put some calming essential oils into the diffuser and help to calm and balance your environment. We can also use the essential oils topically, so we can use them as directly onto the skin. So you can put them on your pulse points as you would a perfume, and take that aroma that way. We can use them as massage, diluted with fractionated coconut oil or some other kind of plant-based oil. And you can put that onto your skin, and you're taking advantage of that aroma. And of course, there's many aromatherapy massage treatments out there, and it's just taking advantage of it in this way. We can also take the oils internally. Some of the oils can be taken internally. So we know that we'll all have an emotional response to an essential oil, because that's fact. We know that the chemical makeup of those essential oils, the natural makeup of those essential oils will trigger an emotional response in your body. And you can see here, this is my niece and nephew, Indy and Reuben, and they've got the essential oils in the morning, and they're just having a try and seeing which ones they want to use for that day and how it makes them feel. I really love this picture. It's one of my favourite pictures of all time, because they're really having a lovely emotional response to those oils and then deciding which ones they want to use for the day. So we know we'll all have an emotional response, but actually it's a specific emotional response. So we know that lavender oil will create a calming response, for example, and we know that the citrus oils will create an uplifting response. But actually those triggers and the memories that are kept in the limbic system, as we've seen before, they make our responses extremely personalised. So what that means is you might need to try different oils to find the ones that work best for you. So even though lavender might be calming, perhaps you've got an association with lavender that isn't very nice, for example, and you don't actually particularly like the smell of it. Well, you might need to try different oils to find the one that works best for you. it's a highly individualized experience when we use the oils. So before I go into some of the emotional aspects of the oils and what we can use the oils for, I thought it would be great to show you the reference books and tools that I've used to create this presentation, but also that you can use yourself. So you don't have to be an expert on essential oils. You don't have to spend your whole time using essential oils like I do. You can just have reference books and tools with you to in your home, so that you, when you need to look for an oil to support a specific emotion, you've got these tools available. So Emotions and Essential Oils, that book goes into very deeply into the deep-rooted emotions, and talks about how the oils can help you resolve those deep-rooted emotions. And then you've got Essential Oils for Happy Living by Rebecca Hintz, and she's got some fantastic things in there around using the essential oils and actually combining them with affirmations as well, and I'm going to show you one of those going forward. Then the Modern Essentials book and the Essential Life books, they're the two sort of big manuals that we have that don't just cover emotions, they cover all of the physical sides, the physical and emotional aspects of the oils. So you can look up an ailment or an emotion and then see which oils actually are recommended for that, or you can do it the other way around, and you can, if you've got a bottle of oil, you can look it up by oil and see by oil. And then if you look at the bottom there, there's the Emotions and Essential Oils wheel, and that's a wheel where on the pink side it's all about positive emotions. So you look up, I want to feel happy, that the positive emotion I'm looking for is happiness or joy, and you can look it up and see which essential oils you can use. And then on the back of the wheel is the blue side, and that is the negative emotions side. So you can look it up by negative emotions. So I'm feeling angry today. How can I help that negative emotion? So what I've done is I've picked out a few emotional situations that you might have and feelings, and I've covered different ways that we can use the oils for that type of emotional issue. And of course there are hundreds of different emotions and lots of different oils, so I've just picked a few just to show you how you can use the oils for emotional well-being. So we're starting with anxiety, and I think that's a really common one now. We hear a lot about, everybody feels anxious, whether it's a fleeting anxiety because you're going to walk into a job interview for the first time, or whether it's a long-term anxiety that you struggle with, more longer term, that sort of sits with you every day. I think everybody experiences anxiety at some time in their life. And so we can use grounding, calming and uplifting oils, and it will depend on the cause of the anxiety. So if you can really focus in and think, why am I feeling anxious, then that can also help you to choose the oils. So as I said, there's many oils to choose from. I've just chosen 5 here. So lemon, if you've bought your kit, your family essentials kit or your home essentials kit, you'll have lemon in there. You can pick that up and inhale it directly from the bottle for a quick pick-me-up. And as I said to you before, I quite often do that. I'll be wandering around the house doing mundane activities like housework and just think, I feel like a little uplift, and I'll grab my lemon oil and inhale that directly from the bottle, because that's normally on my kitchen side anyway, because I use it in my water for digestive issues, to cleanse in the morning, a drop of lemon in the water. So it's there. So just grab it, inhale it, quick pick me up. Wild orange. I can't recommend wild orange enough. It's got the most fantastic smell to it. It's amazing smell. Everybody loves wild orange. And it's uplifting and calming at the same time. So it can you really feel a sense of, it can really promote a sense of instant calm, but an uplifting feeling as well, being a citrus oil. This one is fantastic for children. So personally, I know many people who are using it with their children, because it smells so good, the children love it, but also it seems to work fantastically if you diffuse it overnight. If you've got an anxious child, diffuse it in their bedroom overnight, or diffuse it in the home when they get home from school, or even they can just put it in the palm of their hands, and a drop in the palm of the hands, and just breathe it in, as you saw Indian Rubin doing, if they're feeling anxious before they're going to school or before they're going wherever it is they're going that day. It also works great with lavender for promoting restful sleep. And then we've got bergamot. Bergamot is a much milder citrus aroma, but also has that calming effect. And as you can see here, I've put, it's the oil of self-acceptance and self-worth. So the Emotions and Essential Oils book that I showed you in the other slide, where I said it goes down to the next level, the next sort of the real deep-rooted emotional side of things. If you look in there under bergamot, you'll see the oil of self-acceptance and self-worth. So if you've got a deep-rooted emotional issue, you can use that book to help you find the oil that you might need to work with longer term. And so you can be using that oil every day as a ritual to help you remove that, or help you promote that certain emotion. dōTERRA also do some blends. If you haven't experienced those blends yet, then they are fantastic. They really are. What they've done is they've taken the oils that are known to be grounding in this case, so for example balance, and they've blended them together so that you can just grab that bottle and it literally does what it says on the bottle. So balance is one that I turn to time and time again. It's one of the first oils that I actually used, and it helps you feel stable and gives you inner strength. So for children, if you've got a hyper child, or a child, a child who's all over the place, put some balance on their feet. If you've got, if you're having one of those days where everything seems like it's just crazy and you're just running around like a headless chicken, take a moment, take some balance, have a sniff of it, or put it in your diffuser as you're in your environment, and that's really does help. I actually wear dōTERRA Balance as a perfume as well because I love the smell of it so much. And then you've got Peace, dōTERRA Peace, which is a reassuring blend, and that's made from the mint and the floral oils. So the way we know that mint and floral oils have a reassuring emotional connection. So Peace Blend contains the mint and the floral oils, and you'll find that the other blends contain different types of oils depending on the type of emotion that you're trying to address. So you can see there's loads of different ways that we can use the oils. So confidence, essential oils for confidence. What I've done here is I've taken an excerpt from the Rebecca Hintz book, and she's put a blend here. So for example, to combat fear. So you put a blend, you can blend your I know dōTERRA do their own blends, but you can blend oils yourself. So for example, here she's put in to combat fear, an oil protocol you put together in a glass vial, and then you would put 5 to 7 drops of that blend into the water diffuser and use that to combat fear. But with that, she's got an affirmation, and I really love this because, as we know, you've got an emotional, a mind-body connection with the oils and with the emotional response. So if, as you're breathing in those oils that help us to combat fear and to have confidence, we're saying an affirmation, I'm capable, I'm strong, you're cementing that response in your body. So the next time you smell that oil or that oil blend, that's how you feel inside. You feel capable and you feel strong because you're creating that response for your body. So you can see here as well, I've put the dōTERRA Motivate Touch Sticks. So this is the encouraging blend that dōTERRA do, great one for confidence. And you can buy it pre-mixed with fractionated coconut oil in a roller ball. And actually this is a great one, so you can actually just have it in your handbag, take it out and roll it on. And also for children, the roller balls are a really good way of getting the oils, of the children using the oils, so you don't have to worry about them only using one drop or diluting it properly. It's already done in the roller ball, and it's easy for them to do. And you can see we've got other oils here for confidence. As I said, there's many. I've just picked some. Bergamot again. And the reason I've put bergamot throughout this is to show you that one bottle can also have, help you with different emotions. So bergamot being uplifting and refreshing. Cassia, the oil of self-assurance. Spearmint for confidence and courage. And Roman chamomile for calming. So you could take all of those and you could blend those together as well. You can make up your own roller balls if you feel like you want to get to that point, or you can put them, experiment in your diffuser. Essential oils for anger management. Rebecca Hint says anger usually has company. It's best friends with fear and sadness. We call anger a secondary emotion because the root of anger is found in other deeper feelings. So, everybody has times where they're just angry because something's happened, but there might be, if it's a more long-term anger, if you're being prone to outbursts of anger, there's probably a deep-rooted emotion that's causing that anger. So we can use essential oils to help with those, those outbursts of anger that are just one-off. But we can also use essential oils to once that anger is diminished, we can then work on the deep-rooted emotion using the essential oils. So again, I've just picked some here: lavender, bergamot, geranium, and again, try to focus on the different things that we can use. So lavender, you can pick your lavender just to calm the environment after an argument. Bergamot, again, because it's uplifting and refreshing, it can change the environment, it can change your emotion. Geranium, to restore confidence in the goodness of others and facilitate trust. So perhaps the root of the anger might be to do because you feel that other people are letting you down. Well, you can use geranium, for example, to work on that. And we've got the blends here, so Serenity, Forgive, Whisper. I find it really interesting that dōTERRA Whisper, the women's blend, contains many of the oils for anger and that are known to help with anger management. And Whisper is one that you can wear as a perfume. It smells amazing. And if you look at the dōTERRA Forgive blend here, it's the renewing blend, and it uses the herb and the tree oils, whereas the peace blend before used the mint and the rose and the floral oils. So it's interesting for the Forgive, the renewing blend, you've got herb and the tree oils in there. So recently I lost my grandmother, and we went through a whole process, obviously, of grieving. I really liked this quote: grief is just love with nowhere to go. There's many things that we can do to help with the grieving process with the oils. If we're feeling overwhelmed by loss, we can apply 2 drops of the essential oils to the wrist, over the heart or the bottom of the feet 2 to 3 times daily. And certainly, my family, we were using dōTERRA Console, which is a comforting blend. But you don't even have to use those oils for, if you're grieving for the loss of somebody. dōTERRA Console has become a really a go-to one in my home and in my family. For example, somebody very close to me has just had an emergency operation and is obviously struggling with those emotions after that. So she's using dōTERRA Console to make her feel comforted. And we talked about doing our own blends. So here's an example of a blend that you could put together for grief. We know that frankincense is comforting, bergamot, again, self-confidence, uplifting, geranium to comfort and relax, and marjoram to soothe. So you can put that all together in a DIY blend. So you can get really creative with the oils. Melaleuca is a great one for shock as well. So again, if you've bought the kit and you've got the Melaleuca there, it's a good one for shock. Okay. So finally, it's not all about negative emotions. Sometimes it's just nice to give yourself a boost. So as I said, experiment with the oils, see which makes you feel good. And you'll probably find that you've got some that you just keep going back to. So for me, it's dōTERRA Elevation, which is the joyful blend, because it makes me feel happy. So I don't even have to be particularly unhappy. I just might want to feel a bit more happy. It's uplifting and it's an energetic aroma. So it's one that I will just grab as I'm going through my day, or maybe in the morning. As anybody who knows me, I'm not great in the mornings. So Elevation quite often will just give me that emotional boost to get on with my day. Spearmint. Spearmint makes me feel refreshed and alert, and it also smells like my favourite childhood sweets. So Pacers, if any of you remember those, unfortunately they don't make them anymore. They were white with the green stripes, and they had spearmint in them, and it takes me back to that. It just makes me feel good because they smell like my favourite sweets and they can refresh and alert. I also find patchouli really comforting and grounding. It's for me, it evokes feelings of comfort and also takes me back to happy times in my youth. Although the patchouli that we used to use back then was definitely not quite as nice as the dōTERRA one, but yeah, it takes me back to happy times. And finally, Clary Calm. So Clary Calm, I originally used this monthly blend to combat PMT. And it's really, really helped with that. And it's really helped with the irritability and to calm me at certain times of the month. But now, because I've associated that feeling of calm, and I felt that rush of calm go through me when I use this oil, I carry it with me all the time because it now promotes feelings of calm at any time. So it doesn't have to be related to my monthly cycle. It's just one that I can go to and promote feelings of calm at any time. So dōTERRA do an emotional aromatherapy system to make things easy for you. So if this is one that they really do all smell beautiful as well. That's the thing about them. But the emotional aromatherapy system, we've got peace, console, forgive, passion, cheer, and motivate. And they all also come in the touch sticks. But you can then choose based on the feeling, the emotional support that you want in that day. You can just grab whichever bottle you need on that day, and it's all done for you. And as I said, they smell incredible. This is the emotional aromatherapy in the touch collection. So this is pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and then you can use that in a roll-on, so it's nice and convenient, and again for the children. Okay, this is the original mood management kit for dōTERRA. So this one was the original one, but again, before the emotional aromatherapy blends were released. But again, these are a must in my home. I have these and I use them all the time. You've got Balance, the grounding blend, which is peaceful. You've got Elevation, the joyful blend, which is uplifting. Serenity, which promotes tranquility. And Citrus Bliss, which is invigorating. Again, beautifully blended oils for emotional purpose. So that's it. Keep calm and use essential oils. Enjoy using essential oils, enjoy discovering essential oils, and just play and be creative, and you'll find that you'll start to use them probably daily, if not weekly, but you'll start to use them to work with with yourself and your family on an emotional level. So that's it from me, and we'll see you next